Hello, welcome to Klen Codes. This is an intro video for a series I'm going to put together to talk about my coding journey. I'm Austin, otherwise known as Klen Athstar. That's my screen name pretty much everywhere. In this video, I'm going to talk about my first coding project, all the way up until where I'm at now and my current contributions to the coding community. So, I'm just gonna jump right in. My first coding project was Windows error messages. Me and my siblings growing up had a Windows XP computer, and we came across a resource to make these fake error messages. So we would open Notepad and we would code this script that opened up a dialog box or a tree of dialog boxes to kind of just say whatever we wanted. We didn't really have anything, crazy to put in. The dialog boxes would just click and then close. We didn't have anything crazy to put in, but it was still a programming project. We had to design what kind of error message it was, what the buttons looked like, what the window looked like. So there were like 7 different window layouts, 20 different button layouts, things like that. So we would design all of that interface, and then of course put in the actual dialogue in the boxes. And we would make these, and then we would save them as I don't remember what, .exe or a .bat, and save those files, and we would put them in the startup file. So when the computer started up, you'd get this error message and be not knowing what's going on, but they were completely harmless. They didn't do anything, just kind of scared people sometimes. So that was my first coding project. After that, I would go probably 10 to 12 years until now, not coding. I got into video games during that time, and speedrunning became very popular during that time as well. So I got into actually glitch hunting in video games. So I would take these speedrun games like Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Metroid Prime. I would run through these games and try to find new walls, new shortcuts, things that could be used to make the game even faster than it already was. And it was something I was pretty good at, but it's something I wanted to get into more in depth. So there were people who used hex editors to look into the game's code and find out how it's interacting, how the code is changing when you pick up items, when you attack certain enemies, all of these kind of things. But that wasn't something I had experience with, and something I wanted to look into doing. And that brought me to asking people where I could learn to program, where I could learn this CSS and HTML and JavaScript and all of these different things. So I asked my friends, and they pointed me to Free Code Camp. Free Code Camp is an amazing, amazing resource, which, surprise, surprise, is completely free. If you're learning to or wanting to learn to program, there isn't a better resource you can go to. You make a free account, you can run through the curriculum right there. There's no other hoops to jump through. You're not going to get any emails, you're not going to get anything crazy. There's no ads or anything besides just a donation box every once in a while. If you have the means, please donate and keep that running. It's such an amazing program. But I ran through the web design, so I learned HTML, CSS, I learned through JavaScript, as well as some Python through those curriculums. And by the time I was starting to feel like I knew what I was doing, I decided to jump in and try to contribute to an actual code base. So I jumped in with the fast-tracked programmer. They are a team that is looking to take new developers, new programmers, and help them to contribute to larger code bases in the form of open source. If you don't know, open source is basically databases that are open to public eye. So if you go on github.com, you can explore and find these databases. Like the one I found and contributed to was Opia, an educational platform. And you can just see all the files. You can take the files, copy them locally, and then edit them and push changes back to the code base. And for the most part, when you're doing that, you sign up, you get your name in there so that they know who you are, know what to expect. You get issues assigned to you, and then fix issues and push them back to be basically to be implemented in the main code base. So that's what I did. After learning, I took that knowledge, I took it to Fast Track Programmer, took it to open source, took it to Opia, and making those contributions just was really helpful, getting my head into a bigger code base than, you know, the 3 files I would work on with my own programming and my own code base. It's really helpful in learning what programming looks like on a bigger scale, and definitely helpful with learning what it's like to be a programmer. So that's kind of my history with programming. In a nutshell, I'm going to talk more about it as I go through. I'm going to have more videos talking about HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and Python. Later on, I will be putting those videos together, and I will see you in those videos. Until next time.